Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the, if you can believe it or not, 23rd Annual Turnaround Achievement Award Ceremony. Absolutely a round of applause. And a very special thank you to those of you who grace a seat in this audience year after year, and I can totally understand why. This has become the go-to event in Fredericton. My name is Rose Arsenault, and I am again honored to be your MC. I think Brian and I were trying to figure out how many years it's been. I think probably since 2004. So I'm delighted to be your MC again for tonight's ceremony. First things first, let me check. Oh, you laugh, but every year I make use of many of the Kleenexes in this box. And it's not to say that this isn't a feel-good event. It is a feel-good event, but it gets a tad emotional, especially when the students speak. So if you need a Kleenex, you know where they are. All righty. So speaking of feelings, I always want to do take a little pulse of the audience. So how's everybody feeling right now? Scale of 1 to 10? Oh, we already got a 10 over here. We're going to go higher than that a little bit later tonight, because I tell you now, no matter how good you are feeling at this moment, you are going to feel so much. I'm already getting teary-eyed and we haven't even started. You are going to feel so much better when you leave here tonight. This event is so wonderfully inspirational and emotional that you will leave feeling very differently. I promise you that. But I did want everybody to take their seats for our Turnaround Achievement Award recipients, because they are currently going to be piped in by Andrew Wainwright. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2017 Turnaround Achievement Award recipients. So students, this next round of applause that's going to be even louder than what you just heard is for you and the achievements that you've accomplished this year. I do want to say congratulations to each and every one of you. Tonight is your night, and we are here to celebrate your respective successes. You will take your rightful place on this stage again later tonight, but for now, I invite you to join your family and friends and make yourselves comfortable in your seat. And while you find your seats, I want to thank once again our piper, Andrew Wainwright, for doing a great job escorting our students in tonight. Thanks, Andrew. You know your table numbers? And as everybody is getting settled, even before you sit, I'll just ask everybody to stand. Because we are going to prepare for the Singing of O Canada by Kelsey Savoy-Moxon. Kelsey, come on up and join me on stage. Should be good to go. That was good.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons come. stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
That was remarkable. Good singing there, Kelsey. Thank you so much. Well, we have some special guests with us tonight, and you are all special, but we have some very, very, very special guests here with us tonight. So please hold your applause until I introduce them all, starting with the Honorable Stephen Horseman, Deputy Premier and Minister of Families and Children, and Minister responsible for Military Affairs, representing the Premier of New Brunswick, Brian Gallant. We also have, and she was one of the ones that I was referring to when I said Grace is a seat in our audience year after year, it seems, Pam Lynch, the MLA for Fredericton Grand Lake. We also have in the audience, again, same thing goes for Jody Carr, MLA, Oromocto and Lincoln. Brian McDonald as well, MLA, Fredericton Silverwood. And Ross Wetmore joins us tonight, the MLA for Gagetown Petitcodiac. Tayon Kim is representing David Kuhn, the MLA for Fredericton South and leader of the Green Party of New Brunswick. Joanne Linton is representing Matt DeCourcy, the federal MP for Fredericton. And Julie LaGraley is representing Brian Kenny, the Minister of Education and Early Childhood Development. And Angela Aquin. Angela was a Turnaround Achievement Awards recipient in our very, very first ceremony. So we're going back some years, 23 in fact. She's now working at Leo Hayes High School as a First Nations educational support worker. Devon Middle School. I'm going to mark that down so we get it right next year.
My principal's here, make sure he heard that.
That was Devon Middle School. Thank you for the correction. And of course, we have Brian Johnson sitting at the table here with Angela. And Brian is the president of Kingswood. Needs no introduction, but in case you didn't know who he was, that's who he is. And last but certainly not least, David McTimoney, superintendent of Anglophone West School District. And we're going to hear from David a little bit later in the program. First, just a few housekeeping announcements. I just want to let everybody know that the washrooms, in case you didn't notice them on your way in, are out those doors, and take a right. The men's and the ladies are right there as you exit. Feel free to come up and take pictures, but we do ask that you crouch down so that you don't block the people's view who are wanting to hear and see what's going on up here. And lastly, please turn off your cell phones or at least put them to vibrate, and I thank you very much for that. And speaking of thank yous, thank you to all the media who are here to cover our event and for the pre-event coverage. In particular, who heard the two interviews on CBC Radio yesterday morning and this morning? Yeah, really, really well done. Nicely done. To the students as well, very well done. So the interviews were with Carson DeVoe and Alexander Chase, and you'll hear from both of them a little bit later this evening as well. I also want to thank the Turnaround Achievement Awards Committee for all their work organizing this event. You'll find their names listed in your program, but I would also like each one of them to stand and be duly recognized for their hard work. An event of this caliber, as most of us know, does not happen overnight. It takes a lot of hard work and commitment and hours. Most of them are sitting down, having a well-deserved break after what's been a busy year, because the organization of this event likely starts the next day. So the entire committee, please stand and be duly recognized, and this round of applause is for your hard work. Thank you so much. And this thank you is really one of my favorites to mention. I want to thank the parents and the grandparents and the guardians, here I go again, and the teachers and the guidance counselors for helping make this night so special. I'm going to stop right here because you are the guardian angels among us. Now, according to Wikipedia, a guardian angel is an angel assigned to protect, and guide a particular person. You play the most important role relative to this night of celebration. You are the ones who stand watch over our kids outside of any limelight. Well, tonight we want to shine the light on you. Please stand, every parent, grandparent, guardian, teacher, guidance counselor, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, anybody who has played a role in the turning around of a life. Please stand and be recognized, because that is no small achievement. I expect most of the room will be standing. Don't be shy. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. Well, tonight we are very pleased to have the Honorable Stephen Horstman with us. Again, as I mentioned, he is not only the Deputy Premier, he's also the Minister of Families and Children. I would like that portfolio personally, if I ever were to get into government. And also the Minister responsible for Military Affairs. And tonight he's representing the Premier of New Brunswick, Brian Gallant, who unfortunately couldn't be with us. You know the saying, if you want something done, get a busy person to do it. And so that's probably why we have Minister Horstman with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable Stephen Horstman, bringing greetings on behalf of the Government of New Brunswick.
I guess it's not going to come out. Thank you, Rose. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand for Rose, who comes out here every year, gives up her time, sheds some tears and some laughter, and makes us all feel welcome and very important. So thank you very much, Rose. Brian Johnson, thank you very much for your continued support, not only in our community, but to the young people of our province and the students of our area. I also want to thank, as Rose already had done, thank the parents, the guardians, the grandparents, any family member, teachers, continued to what you do to guide young people to make our province the best place to live, work, and raise a family. You know, I just got back from Vimy Ridge. I was very honored to represent our province over 100 years ago, the Battle of Vimy Ridge. And the reason I bring this up is because it was the first time that all Canadians at that time came together to battle together, to sacrifice together as Canadians. And the reason I bring this up is because you can do that. With the help of your teachers, your parents, your friends, government, you can do anything that you can accomplish. And I just want to congratulate each and every one of you here today. Continued success. And on behalf of Premier Brian Gallant and the Government of New Brunswick, we only wish you the very best. The education you are going to receive and have received is second to none in our country, and we wanted to continue to see it grow. So again, thank you very much for having me here today. Brian, I can't thank you enough for what you do in our community, for our people, and no matter who I talk to, give back to your communities. I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but the young people, you can do it too. No matter where you end up, give back to your community. I'm sure there's some person you can think of right now, and I can think of many. And for me, it was my teachers. Growing up in the military family in Oromocto, a single military father, our teachers guided us. And I guess I would have been on the other side of the law if I didn't have the guidance of those teachers. And I was very honored to be a 25-year police officer here in Fredericton. So again, thank you very much, everybody. Continued success, and the sky's the limit. Merci beaucoup.
Now, Minister Horstman has to leave, but I understand you did go to Oromocto High School. So again, as I say every year, you have 2 students who are graduating from your old stomping grounds tonight. Good. Excellent. So please sit back and enjoy a short video that highlights some moments from past Turnaround Achievement Awards. And again, this will give you an indication of the emotion that I was talking about. So take a look. There is such a tribute to the kids who are receiving these awards. They have turned their lives around dramatically from some experiences that we would never imagine in our own lives.
I think they're doing an amazing thing. It shows that that there is somebody out there who actually cares about good people and people who are trying to be good and trying to make their own way. It really helps.
On a given afternoon 20 years ago, two gentlemen came into my office to talk about this new initiative that they experienced in Florida. So Ernie McFadgen and Brian Johnson were so excited about this Turnaround Achievement Award program that they wanted to introduce it to the school district.
It was because of these inspirational stories of students that have had very difficult times and have turned their lives around. And so that was extremely moving. They were helping kids of many varieties get recognized for turning their lives around, kids that were going down the wrong path, and we just thought that would be a wonderful thing for this community.
I not really made a complete turnaround so far. I'm just kind of, 90.
Every celebration that I've attended to see the pride, not only in the students but in their parents and families, to me that's such a boost of confidence that can help propel them into bigger and better things, not only in future years at school, but also after they've finished high school.
My name is Angie Aquin. I first got involved 20 years ago when I was one of the first recipients of the Turnaround Achievement Award.
She came over to me and she told me she was a first-year recipient and remembered it well and how important it was for her, and now she's a counselor in the school system here in Fredericton. And so we both were in tears and hugged, and but that's how important it is to them.
And for someone to actually get to the point where they can say, I am not going to continue on the road that I've been. I'm going to turn my life around, and I'm going to start down the road that I need to be on. That's a tremendous decision, and that young man or woman needs all the support and all the encouragement we can give, because they deserve so much credit.
I just really had some hard times, and these guys have been there through the whole thing, and without them I don't think I'd be up here today. So just thank you guys. I love you guys all.
Over the years, you have learned to make the best choices.
There are a lot of times when teachers don't get the recognition they deserve, and this is one example where we have a chance to really celebrate some of the great professionals that we have in our system.
I think anyone, especially anyone who has ever volunteered, wants to make a difference. And when you can make a difference in the life of another human being, you want to step up to the plate. And that's exactly what Kingswood has done.
You've learned a lot in the turnaround you've gone through, and to pay it forward and help others, because at the end of the day, helping others could be the greatest legacy of your life.
It's not even for the recognition. You know what? They see the difference that it's made in their staff, in their classmate, and they want to have the same change in their life, and wouldn't you?
If I hadn't been able to turn it around, I'm scared I would have been one of those statistic First Nation women. And now I've broken through a lot of those barriers, and I've been able to stand tall and be proud. And I couldn't imagine life without it being like it is now.
Now, Ange was not only featured in the video, she's also on page 173 of the Faces of New Brunswick book. And yes, that is a blatant plug for the book. Keith Minchin is sitting in the back. I get a little quarter or two. But it's a wonderful book. You'll see Brian in there, you'll see Ange in there. It's a really good representation of the wonderful folks that we have in this province of New Brunswick that we're so proud to be a part of. So again, and thank you to the video producer. That's a really good piece to showcase what this event is. So at this moment, I would like to welcome David McTimoney, Superintendent of Anglophone West School District, to bring greetings on behalf of the school district. And but more than just that, he doesn't usually know that I have another little line to add, but David, I just want to thank you personally and on behalf of Kingswood and the entire audience here for your generous contribution, not just the pewter medallions, not just, the helping of the expenses, but just for your presence, your ability to make this event the special event that it is, and it wouldn't be that without you and your support. So we thank you very much.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Well, it really is my pleasure to be here this evening, and it's a date on the calendar every year that's very important to me. It's a chance to ensure those students who've made that decision, that conscious choice to turn things around in their lives, a chance for you to be recognized tonight and get the attention that you so richly deserve. So I hope that you enjoy this evening. It's the next couple hours I find to be very rewarding. I love hearing your stories. I really want to congratulate not only you but your families, those who support you along the way at home. Of course, my colleagues in the schools, and many of you are here tonight. I see a few of you from each school who are here to cheer on your students. It's important for you to be here and to share in this celebration. I certainly want to acknowledge and thank those who sponsor awards and scholarships. Your contributions are very important in making this night a great success. And of course, my friend Brian and Denise and your whole team who put this together each and every year. It's first class all the way, and it's a true example of business giving back to the community. So thank you very much for all the work and efforts that you do here this evening. So I hope everyone has a great night and enjoy the show.
Thank you, David. Well, for those of you who are here for the first time, and I guess I want to ask, who is here for the first time? Who has never attended a Turnaround Achievement Award ceremony? I'm glad, because you're in for a treat tonight. It's good to see some hands didn't go up, but it's really good to see some hands that did go up. So for those of you who have attended, no secret to you, to those who put your hand up, it may be a surprise to you that we also honor a couple of teachers tonight. Introducing the Kingswood Turnaround Achievement Award, Educator Awards, whereby we recognize a couple of teachers who have played a significant role in the lives of students. Would the following people form the receiving line? Brian Johnson, David McTimony, and Angela Aquin, please. And one teacher from each sub-district has been selected to receive this award. I will call your name, and if you would please come to the podium and following the presentation, make your way through the receiving line. We will begin with Heather Cripps, principal of Gesner Elementary School. And I would ask David McTimony to come forward and present the Educator of the Year Award to Heather Cripps. Heather Cripps has been an educator in the Oromocto Center for many years. She began her career in teaching where students begin their career in school, kindergarten. She later became a vice principal of Summerhill Burton Schools and then principal at Gary. Heather was recognized for the work she had done with staff and students promoting literacy and was appointed to the position of literacy supervisor. She worked with a team to promote adult professional learning and was a recipient of the Innovative Learning Fund and partnered with a publishing company to create a professional learning center for educators. Her promotion of lifelong learning and having access to resources is a theme that has continued into her current position as principal of Gesner Street Elementary School. Heather continues to lead by example by focusing on the needs of the learner. She knows every student's name and can often be found asking about their siblings, their sports, and anything they may be involved in. They are her children. Heather models the importance of making personal connections to the students, and she often can be found visiting classes, greeting the children with her smile. Her lens is framed with the belief in all students can learn and all students will learn. She works tirelessly with school-based student services teams and teacher teams to support the needs of the learners, and she'll go beyond the walls of the school to find the resources the teachers need to be successful. Many students return to Gesner after moving on from grade 2 to say hello to Mrs. Cripps. She's a rock star to the children, and she's a star when it comes to demonstrating that earning professionals, caring professionals can influence the behavior of a student simply by believing in them. So we thank you tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Arsenault. It is a privilege to be in the company of these wonderful students. It's to celebrate all your perseverance and what you've achieved. It humbles me to be here with you this evening. So thank you so much, Mr. Johnson and Kingswood, for this award, which I am so proud to accept. Also to Mr. McTimoney and the district staff who are so supportive always. Thank you. And I work with an amazing group of people at Gesner Street Elementary School. They're compassionate and dedicated and innovative, and it's a joy to be there every day. A few of them came along with me. And I also brought along a friend who used to work with me, Mrs. Pearson, so she's joined too. And to my wonderful husband and family, thank you so much. Being a teacher has been and continues to be the joy of my life. So thank you.
And again, I would call upon David McTimoney, Superintendent of Anglophone School District West, to present our next award to Andrew Culberson, Guidance Counselor at Fredericton High School. Now, Andrew is a respected, dedicated Fredericton High School counselor who goes beyond the call of duty to help students feel welcome, valued, and safe in the school community. Andrew is known for his student advocacy, innovative thinking, patience, and passion for supporting projects that promote student voice. As a strong and passionate student advocate, he's always striving to be fair, supportive, and effective. His enthusiasm and innovative thinking motivates youth and colleagues to embrace initiatives that contribute to the creation of a positive school community. In addition to his role as school counselor, Andrew finds time to mentor new counselors as a part-time instructor at UNB and is active in supporting many community initiatives. Thank you, Andrew, for positively enriching and enlivening the learning experience of countless youth and educators within Anglophone West School District.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks to Ms. Arsenault and to Kingswood and Mr. McTimoney. And I just want to congratulate everybody here for the amazing things that you have done to be here. So I'm so blessed to have a wonderful set of colleagues to work with and love going to work. And that's part of it. And that's one thing that I hope for all of you as you leave here and go and to graduate and to the next journey of your life, that you find that thing that you are passionate about and that you grab hold of that and run with it. So congratulations to everybody here. Thank you.
I just want everybody to take a minute to imagine what it would feel like, and many of you can because you are teachers and guidance counselors, but the joy that you must have at the end of the day, particularly if you've turned a life around, and especially a difficult one. You know, the teachers are going to be up here and going to say, it wasn't easy, we worked and hard, da-da-da, and the success is on stage tonight, you'll see it. But I just think of all of the careers to choose, that must be one that must fill you with such joy and appreciation for life and all that it has to offer. So again, a round of applause for all of our teachers, in particular the ones who have been awarded tonight. Yes. I see some hugs out there, so that's definitely allowed tonight. We want lots of hugs going on. We're going to be supporting one another throughout the evening. So before we begin our student presentations, it is interesting to note that we have influenced our sister province of Nova Scotia. Terra Firma Development Corporation, in collaboration with the Annapolis Valley Regional School Board, just last week presented Nova Scotia's second Turnaround Achievement Awards program for students in West Hants Middle School, Avon View High School, and West Hants Education Center. Now that group attended attended 3 of our award ceremonies and was so impressed that they invited members of our Kingswood committee to help them launch their very own. And as Kingswood is doing, they too plan to further develop and expand their program. So wonderful to see that this is, this initiative, wonderful initiative, is spreading wings and going across the country, starting with Nova Scotia. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. He is one of last year's recipients from Macadam High School. I remember him well. Ramses Smith has been attending Mount Allison University this year, and he makes his way to the podium. By round of applause, let's show Ramses how proud we are of him. We already commented. We already commented as you were making your way in how devilishly handsome you look tonight in that colored shirt. It's beautiful on you.
Thank you. Just before I begin, I want to take a moment to thank the Turnaround Achievement Award Committee as well as Ms. Plummer for the scholarships I received last year. They were very appreciated. Also, I want to begin by just an open-ended question. Who here thinks they know the definition of change? Anyone? Just start yelling them out. Who thinks they know what the definition of change means? There's no wrong answer. It's your opinion. Anyone? Adjustment. Anyone? Any words? Anything? Make a difference. So, according to the dictionary, change is defined by to make or become different. But I want to add a couple words to that. To me, change should be defined as to make or become different in a positive or negative way. You guys, the recipients, are being honored today for making that change, a drastic and positive change. As we all know, life isn't a bed of roses. Challenges approach us every day. Sometimes these challenges are overwhelming and we feel hopeless. What we need to remember in these critical times is that there's always someone out there for you who is caring and can make a difference. It can be a friend, a family member, a teacher, or a counselor. We just have to be open to accepting accepting the help that they offer us. All of you here had someone in your corner who has seen something special in you and has cared enough to help you to get where you are today. Now it's your turn to pay it forward. And how do you do that? In a couple ways, actually. First, continue along the path you are traveling. Keep making good decisions in your life. Secondly, if you see someone who needs a hand, do what you can to help. Even if it doesn't seem like it's a lot, it can be just what they need at that time. I was a recipient of this award last year, but my story did not end there. This year, I attended Mount Allison University, where I encountered a whole new set of challenges. Living on my own, away from family, and surrounded by unfamiliar faces are something to be difficult. And university courses are definitely harder than high school ones. My journey at Mount Allison certainly wasn't a piece of cake. I struggled academically, especially the first semester. Having dyslexia and ADHD made everything that much challenging for me. Some of those textbooks were pretty overwhelming, and there were times where I just shut down and didn't even try. But I was not alone. I made some terrific friends who were there for me when I needed them. I also reached out to the staff at Mount Allison University, and they helped me where they could. My first semester, like I said, was not the greatest, but the second semester was a lot better. I'm determined that next year I will do better still. It may take me more than 4 years to get my degree, but one thing I know is that I will get it. The point I'm trying to make here is never give up on your dreams. Fight for them. Be determined, and if you want something badly enough, you can achieve it. Receiving this award last year meant a lot to me. It told me that others recognized something special in me, and that I had done something worthy of being told, well done. Now I say to you, well done. Congratulations to all of you. Be proud in yourselves, and good luck in the year to come. Thank you.
Oh, see, doesn't that just make you want to smile? I just love your speech. It was so well done, and you have inspired everybody in this room. You should feel really, really, really good about yourself, not just for what you've accomplished going through high school, what you've gone through at Mount A, and now just being able to stand up here in front of an audience and speak so articulately and have everybody's attention and looking so good. That was really great. We couldn't have picked a better speaker. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. So time flies. We're now going to begin the presentation of our 2017 Turnaround Achievement Awards. So permit me just briefly to explain the ceremonial proceedings. Each recipient will be escorted to the podium, and then following the presentation and acceptance speech, you'll make your way through the receiving line. Each student this evening will receive the following: a pewter medallion, thank you again to David and the district, certificate from Premier Brian Gallant, a certificate from the Member of Parliament, Matt DeCourcy, a certificate from the Minister of Education and Early Childhood Development, Brian Kenny, a certificate from Kingswood. Could the following again form the receiving line if they're already there, except for Brian, but I believe there's Brian hiding behind the podium. I thought you were still with Mr. Horseman. I will introduce the student, the school they're from, and the presenter. So here we go, and you can imagine they're all standing out in the hallway, right? And they're like, you're next, I'm not going, you're going, who are speaking? Anyway, I know what's going on out there because I get to hear about it afterwards. But anyway, here we go. We're going to start with our grade 12 student by the name of Kyla Bonnell. And she is with, Kyla is with the Central New Brunswick Academy. Here to present to Kyla is Barb Long, who is the principal. Let's welcome them.
Good evening, everyone. Kyla Bonnell joined our CMBA family in grade 10. Without a doubt, Kyla has had her setbacks in life and obstacles to overcome. She has struggled with all the normal decision-making and discovering a sense of self that being a young adult can bring into your life. Since I've known her, she has always been an extremely mature, responsible, mild-mannered, intelligent young lady. Looking at this beautiful girl to my side and hearing her strengths, you're probably wondering, why did the school staff nominate Kyla for a Turnaround Achievement Award? She sounds like the perfect student. You see, Kyla's turnaround has not been witnessed through a big change that makes you go, wow, what a difference we see. Kyla's turnaround is coming from within her very being. Her turnaround has occurred in her head and her heart. You see, Kyla has become an intrinsically driven individual whose struggles were internal and not visible to the you and I. Over the past year, this beautiful butterfly has emerged from her cocoon and demonstrates each day the change that has created a desire to achieve, a belief in self, a willingness to take risks and push for the best, and a soft kindness that permeates from her very being. As a student, she's a self-motivator who's very independent with her coursework. She will ask questions to clarify details and takes feedback from teachers in an effort to improve her overall grades. She took on the challenge of the school yearbook, a project that required patience, perseverance, and pleasing others. She mastered this with ease as she navigated the job with great dignity and selflessness. She has a confidence to challenge decisions, but respectfully and understandably accepts the response given to her. She will often check on school rules and guidelines because she wants to do what's right. She worries about how her decisions will impact others and seeks the skills and information to make informed choices. The Turnaround Achievement Award is being presented tonight to Kyla, a young lady whose power within has become the force that drives her each day to her best. To stumble, fall, brush herself off, and get back up and try again. It has become the source of her success today. It has led this young woman to apply to the New Brunswick College of art and design and envision a future in creating art through photography for others to enjoy. Kyla once doubted her ability to pursue her dreams. Without a doubt, a secondary school education lays the foundation from which any exposure to external learning can build. However, I believe the true key to success lies within a person's being. Successful people are internally driven rather than externally controlled. Successful people are motivated to achieve. They do not stop at obstacles, but they find a way to overcome them. They do not blame others for their lack of success, but instead find ways to forge ahead to increase their chances of accomplishment. These individuals have a purpose in life and a clear sense of direction. Kyla Bunnell fulfills this definition of success. Kyla, on behalf of the students and staff at Central New Brunswick Academy, we're so very proud of you. I'm not sure that you are aware of the respect and admiration that the staff and students at CNBA have for you and your kind, caring, and compassionate nature. In your soft-spoken way, you have made a huge impact on others. Congratulations, we're very proud of you.
I guess I'd like to say thanks to my parents and my grandmother for everything they've done, and to Miss Long and Miss Carson for all the support that they've given me over the past 2 years.
The next student recipient is in grade 8 at Keswick Ridge School. Her name is Savannah Yerksa, and here to present is Annette Stauhauer, the teacher and vice president of the school.
Okay, good evening. I have had the privilege of observing huge changes in Savannah Yerksa over the last 4 years, although her story began years before I arrived at Keswick Ridge School. I'd like to give you a brief history of our turnaround student to try to give you a bit of perspective. Keswick Ridge School is a small K-8 rural school where Savannah started in grade 1. She was a feisty young lady who, if she didn't get her way, would throw temper tantrums. She picked fights, sometimes physical, with other students, particularly those who didn't want to do what she wanted them to do. Sometimes she would be best buddies with somebody, and then the next day they would be fighting loudly. She resented anyone, including teachers, telling her what to do. Grade 5 was a particularly difficult year for both her and her grade 5 teacher. Middle school presented a whole new challenge for Savannah. I'm currently the primary teacher in the multi-age middle school classroom, and because Keswick Ridge is a small rural school, this means that the students have had many of the same teachers for their middle school experience. There were many discussions with Savannah over the years from multiple teachers working on reaction options and the concept of wait your turn. We knew that there was a lovely young person hiding behind the arguments. We just needed to patiently tease that person out. The first year that Savannah was in my class, she did not complete any work and would get quite upset if you reminded her that the work was not complete. She was quite defensive and took many things personally that made her hurt more than she needed to hurt. She would cry easily, she needed a great deal of attention, and would sometimes create scenes so she would get the attention she craved. That is now, thankfully, a thing of the past. Between patience, encouragement, humor, and a belief in her ability to get beyond the anger, Savannah has matured into the beautiful young lady with me tonight. The support of her family and her teachers working with Savannah has allowed her to focus her energy on positive things in life. The students in the middle school have allowed her to change, and she has made many friends who used to be her battle buddies. Savannah now completes her work either early or on time. She puts a great deal of effort into any assignment or project with fabulous results. She enjoys learning new things and is not afraid to take on a new challenge. She has many friends and is a good friend to others. Her generous nature has been allowed to shine. Savannah, I'm so proud of your achievements and your progress. With your willingness to try hard, you can do anything you set your great mind to doing, and I hope that you aim high. To me, your future looks bright.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my lovely teacher, Mrs. Stayhauer, my mom, my dad, my two brothers, and last but certainly not least, my principals, Mrs. G and Mr. Richardson, for all their help and support in creating the person who stands in front of you today. Firstly, I would like to start off by saying that when I started in Keswick Ridge School in grade 1, I had no friends. I was never interested in sports or phys ed. I would always try to pick fights with my teachers. I was not an easy student. But since I started middle school, there has been great improvement. My teacher, Mrs. Stayhauer, has opened me up to what I used to think was impossible, but now think is incredible. I learned how to do my work on time and how to do my projects, the hard and easy way. I used to hate school, but now I love it. I now have many friends, am interested in sports such as volleyball, badminton, basketball, soccer, and rowing. I finish my work on time and try my best, and I rarely pick a fight. In conclusion, I feel honored to accept this award and again want to thank friends and family who stood by me through the good and the bad times.
Haley Lads is our next recipient in grade 12 at Leo Hayes High School. She will be accompanied by Fred Connors, her teacher.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank everyone for inviting us here and having Haley here. This is pretty special for her. My name is Fred Connors, and I'm the SBR of Alternative Education at Leo Hayes High School. And we're very fortunate to have a visionary administrative staff that allows us to have an alternative site. And we're in our second year of existence. And Haley is one of our proudest accomplishments at this point in time. It's actually interesting to talk about turnaround and achievement. And here is a student who was terrified to be in front of crowds standing here beside me and in the hallway calming me down before I came up here. So maybe can I put this medal on me? Or? All right. So I met Haley actually when I was in resource at Leo Hayes High School. And when I first met her, it was a very interesting meeting because she was very happily defiant. So it was, no, I'm not going to do that. And, oh, okay. So we tried some different things with Haley, and we just couldn't seem to find a way to get her into her wheelhouse and let her feel comfortable being in our school. So we tried some different courses to be inventive, based on her skills and what her strengths were, because she was terrified. I'm going to say this again because it's amazing she's here. Terrified to be in front of large crowds. And in a school of 1,600 students, it's hard to hide. So we put her in one of our phys ed courses that we call hallway wandering. If she had a Fitbit then, she would have got probably a 95 in that class. She was awesome there. And then we put her into a course called social media surfing. It was the enriched class. We had her into the debate club, otherwise known as verbal combat, especially emphasis on teachers. But I told Haley, I'm going to pick on you a little bit because in grade 12, she just couldn't seem to find her way. In grade 12, I received an email. Mr. Connors, I don't know if you remember me, I'm Haley Lads, and I want to come to the alternative site. So I kind of explained the process in which that was going to happen, to which I got an email saying, I'm coming to the alternative site. And then I said, okay, well, this is the process, and I'm coming to your alternative learning site. And at the end of every message was, because this is what I need to do to move forward. And it was this self-awareness all of a sudden that had occurred with Haley. So in a lot of ways, I look at this award as the Turnaround Achievement Award. That's what it's called. But to me, for her, it was the Self-Discovery Achievement Award, because what she really found was all the things that we knew all along. We knew she was committed. We knew that she was dedicated. We knew that she was going to be successful. She just had to find her. And we're very fortunate that we could put her in a position where she could find herself comfortably first and then move forward with who she was going to become, which we learned was a very kind person, a very considerate person, a very loving person. She was very passionate. She cared greatly about her friends. And as a young student, she just didn't know how to deal with that. And then as she matured and became self-aware, now we have her here. And it's been remarkable because now that she's going to actually speak in front of all you people, I have to run back and jack up her LA mark. Because so I really, if there's anybody in the room that's at MBCC, because one of her goals is to go to MBCC, if you get an email from her saying that she's coming, just take her, okay? Just take her. Trust me, she's coming. So I could go on for hours, really, I could, about Haley and the transformation from the grade 9 version to the grade 12 graduate. And it's just, I'm very proud of her. I know her family is very proud of her. I know the administration is very proud of her, Miss McMillan. We had a chance to give her a pretty great big hug when she was finished and completed her requirements with us at the Alt site. So congratulations, Haley. It's been remarkable, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of the journey with you. So congratulations. There's the medal. I'll give you this on the way, okay?
I'd just like to say thank you for giving me this award. I've had a really hard time during high school, and just the last year I've realized, I need to do something or else I'm not going to make it very far in life. Without my mom's help and my aunt's help and my boyfriend's help, I don't know if I would have even made it to be here standing on this stage today thanking you guys. It's such an awesome thing to receive, and I just thank you so much.
Now, you may have heard our next recipient on CBC Radio. Alexander Chase is a grade 12 student at Leo Hayes High School, and here to present his award is Tanya McBride, the resource teacher there.
Good evening. Please excuse my voice, I have a cold. My name is Tanya McBride, and I'm honored to be introducing Alex Chase. I first met Alex when he was in grade 9. Believe it or not, he was about this tall and was an angry young man. He hated school, wasn't a fan of authority, and impulsively did things that contributed to his constantly being in trouble. I could not envision that his school career would last long or end well, but I was wrong. Alex has not had an easy life. I could tell you stories that would not leave a dry eye in this room, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to celebrate Alex. The character trait that I most admire in Alex is his compassion. He champions for what he feels is right and is the first to stand up for someone he feels has been wronged. Sometimes the way he's chosen to advocate may not have always been the best, but his heart has always been in the right place. I remember one time when Alex stormed into my office upset and asked me, "Can I call Todd and see if he can come and get me?" At that time, Todd Horncastle was working with Alex and continues to be a friend and mentor to him today. When Alex was having a rough day, he could count on Todd to be a supportive ear. I literally had Todd's cell phone number taped to my office phone. After placing his call, he asked if he could make another one to his younger brother, Cameron. Cameron was at home sick with the stomach flu, and Alex was a concerned big brother, asking if he felt better, telling him he'd bring him some food and to get some rest. I remember thinking that I wish I could capture that moment to show people the Alex Chase that not everybody had the opportunity to see. Alex, Todd, and I recently were interviewed by CBC. While waiting in the lobby, we took a little walk down memory lane, sharing stories. Alex and Todd talked about a time that in the middle of the night, Todd heard loud banging on his door. It was Alex holding a dog. He and some friends had been driving around and spied it on the street. Alex was worried it was too cold for the dog to be outside and that he needed to help it. That's just who Alex is. the person who will stop and help while others might drive on by. Life has not been easy for Alex, and the fact he's made it through high school to achieve his adult diploma and will be going to NBCC to study plumbing in the fall is a testament to what a determined young man he is. I found a quote by author Charles DeLint that sums up perfectly the personality trait that will take Alex very far in life. I don't want to live in the kind of world where we don't look out for each other, not just for the people who are close to us, but anyone who needs a helping hand. I can't change the way anybody else thinks or what they choose to do, but I can do my little bit. Please join me in congratulating Alex Chase.
Thank you, everyone. Well, I just want to thank Tanya for not being my teacher, but being my best friend. And Todd, who was fortunately not able to make it, for also being my best friend too. And I want to thank my family. And thank you, everyone.
Our next recipient is Kayla Boyle, a grade 12 student at Leo Hayes High School, and here to present is Beth Henderson, the teacher.
Hi, everyone. I've been given the honor of speaking about Kayla, but this speech is really a combined effort between Christy Susie, my colleague, and myself. We have watched Kayla grow over the course of her 4 years at Leo Hayes, and through 2 maternity leaves, we have shared in the pleasure of being her home base. Like many of the turnaround awards given tonight, Kayla's story is one of learning that she has control over her own script and can trust herself to write the ending she wants. In grade 9, when Kayla was in Christy's class, she started the year in a state of flux. She didn't know if she was coming or going, and when she was going, she was kind of going in the wrong direction. She would constantly be coming to tell Christy stories about her friends or herself, secretly or not so secretly, looking for advice. It was clear that Kayla knew the right thing to do, but was not yet confident enough to trust her own instincts. Christy always gave the same advice: be safe and make good choices. This little mantra has become a little joke and a line Kayla will probably always remember. At some point throughout her grade 9 year, that all began to change when she made a decision to be a leader in her own life. She set a goal and decided that she wanted to be a nurse, so all of her decisions, for the most part, were made to allow her to one day accomplish that goal. When I first met Kayla in grade 10, she was in my personal development and career planning class. She sat in the front row and was very quiet. Throughout that semester, Kayla started hanging out in my class at lunchtime, then started talking to me about different aspects of her life. She talked about her friend group, her home life, both past and present, and how things were going in school. She talked a lot about what her friends were doing and how that didn't quite align with what she thought were the best choices for her. And over the semester, she became increasingly self-aware and began to change her environment to one that better suited the person she wanted to be. She started to realize her own self-worth and decided not to accept anything less from her environment. That same year, Christy returned from her maternity leave and came into my classroom one day at lunch and said to Kayla, "Oh, you're hanging out in here. I was wondering where you got to." So from there, Kayla would spend most mornings and lunch hours with Christy and myself. Sometimes she would be there with friends, sometimes on her own, and she would continue telling us about what she was doing on the weekend and in classes and with friends, and we kept repeating that same advice: be safe and make good choices. We knew she was capable of doing both. She mostly agreed, and through her own decision-making, we kept seeing Kayla's confidence grow. As grade 11 and 12 unfolded, we saw Kayla apply and get part-time jobs, get her license, and eventually take the responsibility of a car to drive her and her brother to school most days, accomplish excellent grades in her classes, as well as to secure a highly sought-after cooperative education placement at the Dr. Everett Chalmers Hospital to work in the pediatrics unit. As she was achieving all of these personal accomplishments, she was also taking other students under her wing. She befriended those that she felt needed a friend or just needed a little extra support because she saw a little bit of herself in them. And she knew that by breaking away from the negative relationships in her own life, that she was able to become more confident and happier day to day. Yes, we supported her at school and her family supported her at home, but Kayla chose to live the life that she imagined. And so here we are today at the Turnaround Achievement Awards. Why is Kayla deserving of this award? Well, she became her own person and became confident in who she was despite all of the negative that surrounded her in her early years. She became confident enough to leave the negative relationships, confident enough to plan a future, to go to a workplace, attend a co-op placement, as well as step in and help others. And beyond all of this, she became confident enough to stop seeing herself through the eyes of others and start to trust her own abilities. We are here today because Kayla believed in Kayla, and that has made all the difference. So Kayla, as you graduate this year and take on the challenges that life brings you, we know you will continue to trust your own capabilities and instincts, that you will continue to be safe and make good choices. Congratulations.
I guess I just want to say thank you to all my teachers, Miss Susie and Miss Henderson, my parents, and all of my family that's continuously supported me. 3 years ago today, this is the last place I expected myself to be, and here I am, so thank you.
Our next recipient is a grade 8 student at George Street Middle School by the name of Kieran McDonald, and here to present is Lucy Davis, the resource teacher.
Good evening. It's a great pleasure to recognize Kieran tonight and present him with his Turnaround Achievement Award. 5 years ago, I met Kieran while spending some time in his elementary school for a couple of weeks. And at that time, he exhibited some challenges that also followed him into middle school. I've had the pleasure to work with him for the past 2 years as his resource teacher for both grade 7 and grade 8. And he's certainly changed a great deal since starting in middle school at George Street. His transition was difficult, academically, socially, and emotionally. But this past year, he has made significant change in his life in terms of behavior, attitude, and academics. He made a continuous effort to become a positive student. He developed skills to cope with his different challenges and became attending longer days and completing academic work. Kieran certainly has a great support system. His teachers understand his challenges, know when to encourage him, and know when to give him his space. Along the way, Kieran learned to advocate for himself and ask for help when he needed. His parents are also a great support system to him, and during the past 2 years, I've certainly appreciated their collaboration and support in order to work together to encourage Kieran to become his best self. He has become a kind young man who is certainly understanding and shows compassion towards his peers. This year, he has developed many new friendships and has gone above and beyond by creating a new club in our school, which is the Car Club. His new friendships have certainly helped him stay engaged in school. And during his free time, Kieran enjoys learning more about computer parts, software, and using the Brilliant Lab at our school. In the fall, Kieran will embark on a new journey to high school. Although there may be challenges ahead, I know that he will continue to develop the skills he needs to reach his goals. Remember, Kieran, that you can achieve what you set your mind to. I want to share with you a quote from Steve Jobs, who was a great businessman and inventor in the field of technology. And I think it's quite appropriate since Kieran loves technology so much. He said the following: "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to truly be satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it." Your family, tutor, and teachers couldn't be more proud of you, Kieran. Keep up the great work, and congratulations on earning this award.
I would like to thank Miss Davis, my tutor Ryan, my parents, and the rest of my family and teachers who have truly helped me. Life has its ups and downs. I've had quite the journey. My goal this year was to have a grade 8 year, and I've succeeded. I'm proud to receive this award, and I'll certainly continue working hard.
And our next student goes by the name of Krista Hashi. She is a grade 12 student at Minto Memorial High School, and here to present the award is Shelley Casey, again, the resource teacher.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shelley Casey, and it's an honor to be here tonight with Krista. Throughout her adolescent years, Krista was not a fan of school. She would put most of her efforts into pushing back against those who tried to help and encourage her to staying home from school altogether. She had missed so much time from grades 6 to 9 that the gaps in her learning were significant. In her first year of high school at MMHS, Krista continued her pattern of conflict with peers, her teachers, her EAs, her parents, and the office. She was not successful that year, and those who cared about her were concerned that she would give up and drop out of school altogether. She did, however, return to school the next year to repeat grade 9, and slowly her transformation began to take place. She required an extensive PLP and lots of help and patience from the staff and her family, but gradually Krista started to see the rewards of her hard work. She started to believe in herself, and she let her guard down and was more open to receiving help and receiving friendship from her peers. By her grade 11 year, Krista came off all modifications and was thriving on her own. She attended regularly, was often caught smiling and laughing, and we were happy to present to you this evening this completely transformed young lady that you see here before you tonight. Krista epitomizes what the Turnaround Achievement Award represents. To Denise, Krista's mom, we want to say thank you. You did an amazing job at supporting us at the school while also supporting your daughter. We are very grateful to you for that. To you, Krista, Minto Memorial High School wants to thank you for sticking it out, for trusting us, and for working so hard to turn things around. We are very proud of you and want you to know that you are most deserving of this award. Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank my friends and family that have been there for me this whole time. It has been an incredible journey from transforming into somebody who was, well, teachers don't like to call it this, but a problem child, into somebody who is actually interested in school, and I actually am interested in school, and I'm on my path to finding a career of my choice, and it's all because of everyone who's supported me, and yeah.
I think that deserves an amen. Amen. career planning classes when you went to school? They didn't have career planning classes when I went to school, but that would come in handy, wouldn't it? All right, our next recipient goes by the name of Shelby Merrill. And Shelby is in grade 12 at Stanley Consolidated School. And here to present is Colin Dolan.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here to present the award tonight for grade 12 student Shelby Merrill. Being from a K-12 school in Stanley, I got to know Shelby when she was just little tiny Shelby, and then growing slightly more defiant Shelby. Now she's almost graduated Shelby. And we were trying to think of like myself and our guidance counselor, Mr. Fusnik, we're trying to think of like an actual turnaround moment for Shelby, and I guess for her, it's the little tiny 7-month-old that just left the rooms. And for Shelby, when she became pregnant, school kind of became a secondary, as we can all attest to as parents, that school and pretty much life in general becomes second to taking care of your little ones. So Shelby's plan was to graduate on time. It was very important, and probably none of us could have blamed her if she decided to just kind of stop. And kind of when she left to have the baby, that was the plan. But to our surprise, she came back and did what she needed to do, and now she's not only on track to graduate, which was her original plan, but she's going to be heading to Eastern College in the fall as well. And we were trying to think of a moment of this year. Shelby was doing some work in our class that was kind of our default alt-ed in-school suspension room. And there was a young man there who was throwing his books and said, "School's not important." And Shelby, of all people, said, "You need to sit down, shut up, and do your work and graduate." And I was so proud because he listened, and he's actually doing so. He's like, "Okay, yeah, I guess I can sit down, shut up, and do my work." And so that made me very proud. Maybe you could be a teacher, because we can't say that stuff, but you can. We're not allowed to. And I guess I could go on and on about Shelby, but I think as your daughter sits here, hopefully you can show her that video in 15 years from now, because it'll be something she can be very proud of you, because you could have stopped. A lot of us probably would have, with a lot of the obstacles you had to overcome, but you not only met them, but you surpassed them. So I'm very proud to give you this award.
Thank you, Mr. Dolan. I'm very honored to receive this award. I really don't know what to say. I'm really nervous. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's helped me through this journey of going through high school, especially Mr. Dolan, and a big thanks to my mom for helping me through everything. And she's like my hero. She's been there through everything and helped me. So yeah, thank you.
Our next recipient is in grade 8 at Devon Middle School, goes by the name of Emily, and hopefully, Emily, I'm getting your last name right, Attio? Attio. And here to present is Melissa Wilson Smith, the teacher.
Good evening. I am absolutely thrilled to present Emily Adio the Turnaround Achievement Award for Devon Middle School. Emily is a lovely young lady that has been significantly resilient in the wake of some difficult situations over the last few years. When our guidance counselor asked who would I nominate, Emily was immediately the first person that came to mind. I am so thankful to have had the opportunity to teach Emily language arts for the last 2 years, and personally have witnessed what an amazing turnaround she has had. Last year, Emily missed more than a third of her year, 68.5 days to be exact. and due to her frequent absences, was unable to stay on top for studies as she missed foundation concepts. This year, Emily has missed only 2 days due to illness and has been academically one of the top students in her class. It seems that not only has her attendance and academic achievement improved, her attitude has also. Emily is one of the kindest, most caring students I've ever had the privilege of teaching. Emily spends many classes working with a peer that has Down syndrome and shows great care, respect, and compassion. Emily not only takes the time to work with her special needs classmate, but also ensures that she completes all of her own work and assignments as well. I am so honored to have the opportunity to see Emily make this amazing turnaround, and am incredibly excited to see what she has ahead of her as she continues to pursue her academic interests.
I just want to say thank you. I'm a little bit short. I just want to say thank you to my mom especially because she's helped me in so many ways. And all my other family and my teachers have helped me so much. And I'm so thankful for everybody. I'm thankful for everybody here. And I just want to say thank you.
Brandon McGarity is next up, a grade 12 student at Cambridge Narrows Community School, and here to present is Nelson Arsenault, the principal.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to all of our Turnaround Achievement Award winners tonight. I guess you know you're getting a little bit older when I was one of the first people to attend the Turnaround Achievement Awards and present 23 years ago, so I guess it's been a while. Tonight we're celebrating Brandon McGarity, and Brandon McGarity is a grade 12 student at Cambridge Narrows Community School. We're a unique school. We're a K-12, so we've been able to watch Brandon grow and become the fine young man that he has become. Now, many of the teachers that have had Brandon are still at our school, so they watched him grow from that kindergarten student that at 5 years of age was on the floor screaming and really was very apprehensive about doing things. Simple things like climbing stairs or doing tasks that the teacher asked him to do. Brandon was very scared and he was very shy. He wouldn't speak very often, but gradually he started to come out of his shell. And often we recognize students for behavior, and I think we need to look at our students for those students who are introverted and who come out of their shell and start talking and start taking part in activities that make them the person that they are. So Nancy Hyatt was Brandon's kindergarten teacher, and she still is a kindergarten teacher at the school. And when we voted on who would receive the Turnaround Achievement Award, it was unanimous. Brandon McGarity was the young man that we felt changed drastically, that was not afraid to speak, would come up to you and carry on conversations. Brandon initially would walk by you. You would say hello to him, and he would keep his head down and would move fast so that he would avoid eye contact and would avoid words. Now Brandon's coming up to us. He's cracking jokes. And look at him tonight. He looks like a young newscaster tonight, and he's very proud standing here. I feel a little bit underdressed compared to Brandon tonight. Brandon takes on new tasks. He's in the woodworking shop. He cuts a great angle, by the way. He can miter a great angle. And if he doesn't do a great angle, he goes back with perseverance, and he attempts it again, and he makes the fine coffee table. I think Brandon's already talking about his apartment, that independence that he didn't have initially. He's moving on, and he's growing into the fine young man that we have here tonight. So without saying much more, the Village of Cambridge Narrows is celebrating with with Brandon tonight. We are a small community. We are a community that celebrates the success of our students. Our students are pleased that Brandon is our recipient tonight. Again, his staff, our staff, are applauding, even though they're not all here tonight. They're excited that Brandon is here tonight. In the fall, Brandon attends the community college, MBCC, and he'll take that coffee table that he made this fall in our mill and cabinetry class. He's apartment shopping, and really, Brandon, the world is yours. So we are exceedingly proud of you. Put it right there, here.
I would just like to thank everyone in my life, from all the way from kindergarten all the way up to now, for helping me to become who I am today. Without anybody in my family, in my school, in my friends, everyone, I would not be here today. I would not be going down the path I was going. I would probably be going down a different path. I just like to say thank you to everyone.
Andrew Mallory is our next recipient, a grade 12 student at Chipman Forest Avenue School, and here to present is Yvonne Caverhill and Stephen Hashi, the principal and phys ed wellness specialist, respectively.
Good evening. Normally I'd let ladies go first, but when your principal says you're going first, here I am. So, distinguished guests, fellow teachers, parents, and of course, the real reason we're here tonight, all of these great young people in front of us. I've known Mr. Andrew Mallory for many years. You see, working in a small rural school, which includes grades 6 to 12, and teaching at the high school level, you get to know the students at a young age. You hear the stories, and we'll say the word challenges, from the middle school teachers. And I have one in my carpool, so that's very therapeutic on the way home to hear all these wonderful stories. But in Andrew's case, I knew him before he ever stepped foot in our building. You see, he has an older sister. And I taught his older sister and also coached his older sister in volleyball. So this is where Andrew comes into the picture. I got to see him running around gyms all over the province, and when he was watching his sister compete. I don't know how much watching he actually did. Now, we've heard many stories here this evening of people that have had adversity, challenges, and struggling to basically find themselves, so to speak. But with Andrew, he never truly gave me any problems. Although in speaking with other teachers in the building, he did cause some, we'll say, friction, not only with teachers, but also his classmates. Apparently, he was unkind to some of his classmates and demonstrated very little patience. Well, to this day, I still question why he never gave me any problems, but so be it. He always did everything that I asked of him. Typically did it quickly, efficiently, and always met my expectations. So I was very honored that he chose me to share this evening with him, but at the same time puzzled and confused as to what I could say. Again, working in a small school, as I mentioned before, you typically have one class per grade level, and you quickly discover how the group of students presents themselves. Are they academically inclined? Are they athletically inclined groups? Are they overly social? Are they a group of misfits, if I'm allowed to say that? Well, Andrew's class happens to have several high achievers, of which he finds himself near the top. The only thing that sticks out in my mind with Andrew is the fact that he's a straight shooter. He has a no-nonsense type approach and likes to get to work type attitude. This approach likely rubs the typical teenager the wrong way. All business and no play with Andrew. He makes people around him accountable, and if they aren't pulling their weight, he will certainly tell them. This includes teachers too. So you might say he can have a little bit of an edge to him. But I appreciate that approach and keeping those around him accountable. And I guess that's why I've had so much respect for him as a student. I think some of my colleagues and fellow teachers would say I have similar characteristics to Andrew, and perhaps I see a little bit of myself in him. So Andrew, I'm confident you'll continue to grow, mature, and educate yourself with that serious business-like approach. It's been a great experience seeing you mature and soften up those rough edges a little bit over the years. Again, congratulations. He's going on into the Canadian Armed Forces. We'll do great things. And again, thank you for the opportunity being here with you tonight.
I really didn't feel the need to speak tonight, but this is at Andrew's request, so I'm honoring his request. So unlike Mr. Hashi, I've only known Andrew for about 1.5 years. And at first I wasn't quite sure what to think of him. He was very quiet, but he was a very good student. But I didn't see him interacting with his peers very often, and when he did, there seemed to be a bit of an edge to him, like Mr. Hashi described. So I asked the middle school teachers, what was he like? And the responses were different from what Mr. Hashi experienced. I was told that when he responded to constructive criticism, his response could be sharp and sometimes even snappy. He often became defensive and argumentative. And just today, one of his fellow grads described him this way, and he won't be surprised by this. Andrew would have argued with a wall if it would have fought back. Now, we spring forward to the current semester, and Andrew decided to enroll in a 1-credit co-op course in the school. And he asked for his job placement to be in our main office. And the guidance counselor came to me, she said, Andrew wants to do this, and I hesitated. I said, I don't know if that's a good idea. Andrew, I was wrong. I'll admit it. I worried that your no-nonsense attitude that Mr. Hashi spoke of, and you're not so warm and fuzzy, he's not a warm, fuzzy kid. I wondered how that would be perceived from the public and the students coming into the office. Didn't think he was going to be very approachable. But instead, what we've discovered is a co-op student that can almost replace our administrative assistant. After 1 day, he had mastered skills that students before him had taken weeks to learn. The intercom system that many teachers are still, they won't speak into the intercom system. He was paging people, he was calling classrooms, he knew exactly what to do. No problem for Andrew. He is so efficient that we had a new administrative assistant in just a couple weeks ago as a substitute, and Andrew showed her the ropes. So over the past few weeks, we've also had a few visitors from district office that have come in, and they've commented to us about Andrew's efficiency, his professionalism, and his friendliness. Over the past 2 months, I've been working with Andrew doing math questions. I teach Andrew math. I taught him last year, and I'm teaching him currently. We do this during advisory period, not because he has to. This is for a test he's writing for the Armed Forces. He's coming because he wants to. He tells me he likes to pick my brain. So we sit and we do math questions together for 25 minutes. We do that probably 2 or 3 times a week. So his goal is to become a pilot. He's focused, determined to reach his goal, and he's striving for excellence. And the student before you tonight, he still likes to debate. I wouldn't say argue, but he likes to debate. And he still holds others accountable, but he's learned to do so in a more diplomatic manner. So Andrew, on behalf of the students and staff of the school, congratulations on receiving this Turnaround Achievement Award. We're very proud of you and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to thank my teachers for nominating me for this award. I'd also like to thank everyone here for coming out to support myself and all of the recipients. With my grade 12 year coming to an end, it was a great honor to learn that I had been chosen to receive this award. To know that the teachers who have been there and supported me from grades 6 to 12, the ones who have seen me at my worst and stuck by me when I needed it the most, knowing that they believed in me gave me the motivation to make a change and strive to be the best me I possibly could. I'd like to thank my teachers, both past and present, for making such a difference in my life and making school somewhere that I truly feel that I belong. I'd also like to thank my parents, Brenda and Joey, for loving me through everything and guiding me in the right direction. Wherever life takes me, I'll always be able to look back and know that the wonderful teachers at Chipman Forest Avenue School have helped me to become who I am. And for that, I'll be forever grateful.
Jordan Gould is our next recipient. He's in grade 8 at Keswick Valley Memorial, and here to present is Kim Manzer, teacher.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Keswick Valley Memorial is honored again to be part of this celebration and excited to award this year's recipient, Jordan Gould. But before I begin, I would like to clarify that this is the student receiving the award and that I'm his teacher. In fact, prior to the blue hair, Jordan has been mistaken on several occasions as a teacher in our K-8 school. Now, Jordan is known in our school as a leader, not just amongst his peers, but to the younger students as well. He is friendly, polite, and caring. He demonstrates a commitment to being involved in all aspects of school life. However, some of these characteristics wouldn't have reflected the Jordan that we knew back in grade 6. At the beginning of middle school, Jordan was a student who, despite his stature, managed to fly under the radar. He came to class with no real desire to participate or complete classwork. Now, you never found him sitting outside the office or even disrupting the learning environment. In fact, behavior wasn't an issue at all. Rather, it was his work ethic and attitude towards his academics that needed to turn around. For instance, I recall a conversation that I had once with Jordan about a missing writing assignment, because writing is your favorite. He responded that he didn't have it finished, and when I asked why, he said it because he had hockey practice. Yes, Jordan was and still is a talented athlete, but it was his drive, determination, and dedication that he had on the field, in the court, or on the ice that was missing in the classroom. It was apparent that Jordan needed to make a conscious decision that his academics were just as important as his athletics. Grade 6 ended and a new year began, and so did a new Jordan. Little by little, we noticed that he was not the same student. He was motivated not only to complete his work, but on time. He started to participate more in classes and showed a genuine interest in what he was learning. The changes he was exhibiting were noticed by all of his teachers. We were so happy to see Jordan taking ownership of his academics. School life was good, however, there were still glimpses of the old Jordan that would surface on occasion. And then, grade 8 year began, and let me tell you that the old Jordan was history. Wow! The grade 8 version of this young man standing next to me has been an absolute delight to have in my classroom. The transformation that Jordan has shown has made an extremely positive impact on our school. His ability to make this decision on his own has been a blessing to myself, other teachers, and students. As a result of Jordan's turnaround, his marks and classroom performance have improved greatly to not only meeting but exceeding expectations in various subjects. Jordan has a powerful and positive influence on his peers, and he uses it to make our school a better place to be. I know for a fact that when Jordan transitions into high school next year, that he'll knock it out of the park, round the bases with that positive leading by example attitude that we now see him modeling consistently every day. Congratulations, Jordan. You've hit a home run.
I'd just like to thank my parents, my friends, even my teacher, Miss Manager here, for nominating me for this award, and just thank you.
Our next recipient is William Assel. He is in grade 12, the Enterprise Center at FHS, and here to present is guidance counselor Peter Hobbs.
Good evening. Will has overcome many challenges in his life in order to be a high school graduate this year. He spent most of his high school career battling addiction and mental health issues. Will spent time in the hospital and in rehab before moving out west. Will returned to Fredericton this year, and he and his home school of Fredericton High School decided that the Enterprise program would be his best chance for finding success. Will seized this opportunity wholeheartedly and applied himself thoroughly from day one. His attendance was consistent and he excelled in his work. Shortly after starting the program, Will found a job working full-time hours. Despite this, he still managed to balance school and work. Will is a very empathetic and kind young man. His compassion for others was always evident, as he often helped and encouraged his fellow students. Will plans to continue his education at NBCC, where he has applied to the Human Services program. Eventually, he would like to find a job in life where he can, in his own words, just make other people happy. Congratulations, Will.
Did he look a little bit more nervous than I did? It's been a long journey for me personally, and it's had a long and hard toll on my family and my friends and myself personally. And I want to thank, of course, my family, my two loving grandparents who have been there since day one, raised me from a baby, along with my loving mother, who has done nothing but help me and has done whatever she could to make my situation better, and my loving girlfriend, who's over there now blushing and hating me for mentioning her. And Mr. Hobbs, I'd like to thank him for motivating me, if that took putting me in a quiet little room out of the way, just throwing tests at me, one after the other, and I just grind and get them all done. But I do hope that one day I'm able to go out and help other people and make their dreams come true too, because mine is.
And ladies and gentlemen, I think we just met my replacement as MC next year. Dear. Ladies and gentlemen, our next recipient is Bridget Ryan, again, grade 12 with the Enterprise Center. And here to present, Peter, don't go away.
Sometimes all we need is a fresh start. Bridget was referred to the Enterprise program from her home school of Stanley High School, where she had been struggling. She began to lose interest in her academics, and the social peer group she was spending time with was having a negative effect on her. Eventually, as behavioral incidents began to escalate, she was removed from school and placed on an indefinite out-of-school suspension. Bridget had her fresh start when she decided to earn her diploma through the Enterprise program. She began in September of this school year and quickly established herself as a hardworking, polite, dedicated student. Bridget was the first to arrive in the mornings, and her attendance was near perfect. She excelled in her academics and became one of the top students at the program. She flew through her coursework and by November was placed in an employment program through the John Howard Society. Again, she excelled in this program, fast becoming a model participant in both the training and work placement portions of the program. Bridget plans to go to NBCC to earn her Personal Support Worker Program certification, where, no doubt, she will once again excel. Congratulations, Bridget.
I'd just like to thank my mom for being there for me whenever she could, for being my best friend, and a big thanks to Mr. Hobbs and Miss Polly for helping me pursue my dreams and get back on track.
Our next recipient is Megan Thompson, again with the Enterprise Center at Fredericton High School, doing some great work there at the Enterprise Centers. Again, grade 12. And Peter, again, I give you the honors.
Megan entered the Enterprise program in January of this year. Megan's struggles with addictions began in 2012 when she began experimenting with alcohol, and in her words, by 2015 I was neck deep in my drug addiction. Megan attended Portage in the summer of 2015. However, she still lacked the motivation to turn her life around and was asked to leave the program after 3 months. Megan began back at Fredericton High School on a limited schedule and began to come to the realization that things needed to change in her life. Megan started her path of sobriety and decided on an educational plan for graduation. Megan got back in touch with Portage and was acknowledged for completing the program at their recognition day in 2016. She has been sober since December of 2015. Megan also began participation in the At Work program through the CMHA. When Megan entered the Enterprise program in January of this year, she proved herself to be an excellent student. Megan has a great work ethic and a goal for her future. After graduating this year, she plans to attend NBCC for culinary arts and later go on to take business administration with the goal of opening up her own bakery someday. Congratulations, Megan.
You may have heard our next recipient on CBC Radio yesterday morning. Carson DeVoe is a grade 8 student at Harold Peterson Middle School. Here to present is Pamela Thomas, teacher.
Good evening, everyone. I am pleased to present our award for Harold Peterson to Carson DeVoe. When Carson arrived at Harold Peterson in the 6th grade, he was a bundle of energy, to say the least. Unfortunately, he didn't always know what to do with that energy, which usually resulted in blurting in class, not staying on task, or getting into conflict with his classmates and peers. When he was angry or frustrated, Carson had a very difficult time finding strategies to keep his emotions in check and was not always willing to accept help or support when it was offered. He would take a long time to cool down and move past a situation that was troubling him. With his schoolwork, if he was not on the right track, he did not take feedback constructively, which often resulted in lower marks that angered and upset him. Since grade 6, Carson has always been an active participant. He likes to do well and is happy when his teachers are pleased with him. Carson slowly found reasons to be proud of himself and ways to overcome difficulties, even though it was not always easy. He is quick to offer help with errands or tasks around the classroom. He has gotten much better at accepting responsibility for his actions and his work. In general, this has resulted in a much happier Carson when he is at school. He smiles easily and is quick to wish his teachers a good day, which we never underestimate. He now understands the work he must do in order to be successful, both with his behavior and academics. He asks for support when needed and is improving in his ability to apply the feedback that has been provided. I have had the pleasure of teaching Carson for 3 years. I have watched him mature and become someone who is much more capable of handling issues that he has to face, more so than he was 3 years ago. He has actually become a non-issue in the classroom, which is something we could not have foreseen in grade 6. Middle school can be a very tough transition for many students. As a teacher, there is nothing more rewarding than to see someone who previously struggled finally find their way. To hear a student speak with greater confidence, to see a student mature and develop crucial skills in order to move forward, to see a student who is quicker to smile than frown. So I heard a few other people give quotes. Michael Jordan, obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go around it, or go through it. I know Carson is a sports fan, so when I read that, I immediately thought of him. It is with great pride that the teachers at Harold Peterson present this award to Carson. OHS, hold on to your hats. You have someone amazing coming your way.
Thank you very much.
A man of few words. Our next recipient is Jenna Logan, grade 8 student at Nashwaak-Sis Middle School, and here to present is Michelle Skeed, teacher.
It is truly an honor to be standing here this evening with all of you presenting Jenna with the Turnaround Achievement Award. I've had the privilege of both knowing and teaching Jenna for the last 2 years and have seen a remarkable change happen right before my very own eyes. When Jenna came to me last year, she was guarded, and there was very much a disconnect between her and school. It was as though she had built a wall up around herself, and very rarely did any of us get to see the true Jenna. She missed a lot of time, and when she was at school, academics and positive peer relationships were not her priority. This year, I've seen tremendous growth. Jenna comes to school regularly, she's engaged in her schoolwork, and has made meaningful relationships with those around her. The walls have come down, and she's allowed herself to shine. She's surrounded herself with good people, she's making good choices, and has become connected with the school and its community. Jenna seems happier and more confident in who she is. She smiles often, and if you know Jenna, or as you can see her here tonight, if she'll let you see it, she has the ability to brighten any room with her beautiful smile. Jenna, I'm so proud of you and what you've accomplished this year, and I hope that you continue on this path as you move on to Leo Hayes, confident that you are smart and you are strong and capable of doing and having anything you want in this life. Please know you can always come back to NASIS if you need a little nudge to keep moving forward, or if you need to be reminded of how amazing you are and how very proud we all are of you. Congratulations. We haven't quite gotten to where she's okay to speak in front of everyone yet, so she would like to thank her parents and her sister. So, thank you.
Chelsea Newman is our next recipient, grade 12 student at Fredericton High School, and here to present is Suzanne Maxwell, the guidance counselor.
George Herbert, a Welsh-born poet from the 17th century, once said, "Storms make the oak grow deep roots." As I've reflected on the stories told this evening, I can't help but feel inspired to think of each individual who has become stronger through the challenges they've faced. Thank you to Kingswood Ventures for providing the platform to acknowledge the struggle, but also to celebrate the growth. When we began to consider our nominations for this year's turnaround at Fredericton High School, Chelsea Newman was not top on our list, primarily because only a few staff members knew how her journey in high school began. The Chelsea teachers now know is described as mature, quiet but mighty, inspirational, responsible, a quiet leader, and a good example to her peers. She is all of those things and more, but it took her a while to get there. Chelsea came to Fredericton High School in September 2011 with outstanding marks and nothing to suggest that there would be challenges in high school. I met her that school year as she was a student in my grade 9 English class. She was a good student, but her attendance wasn't great, and before long, I was informed that she had withdrawn from school. No explanation was provided, and I didn't really hear from her again for some time. What I later learned is that Chelsea started grade 9 again the following year, but found attending school too difficult, so she withdrew a second time. Although she doesn't like to dwell on all the challenges in that stage of her life, she does acknowledge that there were social and mental health issues that were major factors. It wasn't that Chelsea didn't want to be a student, but she just lost her motivation to come to school, and other things crowded in, making it difficult to manage it all. I believe she and her family are to be commended for choosing to make her health a priority, not an easy decision. In 2012, after her unsuccessful return to school, Chelsea's father arranged for her to start taking some online courses through a program in the United States. Life still presented challenges, and this began a 2-year journey towards identifying the underlying issues which kept Chelsea from attending school and learning how to manage and cope with this reality, all while working on her education from the safety of her home. She worked hard during this phase, and I admire her commitment and determination. This is truly the story of an individual who persevered to overcome adversity. Yes, there were cheerleaders along the way, many of whom are here tonight, but Chelsea did the hard work to turn this story around. In August 2015, Chelsea and her father made an appointment with me in the guidance office to discuss her return to FHS. It was obvious from her online school's transcript that she had done well, but she was still missing most essential courses for graduation, as well as the post-secondary requirements needed if she was to continue to pursue her dream of architecture. We decided that it was wise for her to enroll in the grade 11 academic courses, despite her age, and to be honest, given her situation, I wasn't sure if that was a realistic goal. But Chelsea was determined, and not once since that time has she given any of us a reason to doubt her. Her return to school has not always been smooth, but she has faced every challenge head-on, and my respect for her has continued to grow. She has relied on her support network as well as the coping skills she's developed, and she's entered situations she knew would be uncomfortable, like tonight, but faced them head-on. And while that alone is admirable, I can't help but brag about her academic achievements. Her marks are outstanding, all of them. She doesn't have a mark below 90. Chelsea doesn't just get by, she excels and is so very deserving of the honors and accolades she's received. Somewhere along the way, in the past 2 years, Chelsea changed her future goal, and she has developed a passion to pursue biology and chemistry. And I'm so proud to say that she will be attending Carleton University in the fall to study biochemistry, and quite possibly the person standing before you tonight could be on the verge of developing a cure for cancer. Chelsea, I'm honored to present you with this Turnaround Award. You are so very deserving.
I wasn't planning on saying much when I got up here, but I want to push myself to do things that terrify me, so here I am. This was not a journey I wanted to end up on. Every day, my life was a constant struggle, a battle within my mind between myself and my anxiety, a battle that I was losing. I was losing myself, and I feared everything around me. I didn't choose this. How did this happen to me? Why did I believe all the lies my anxiety told me?
I don't think these questions will ever be answered because, as we all know, mental illness is complicated. And honestly, I'm still shocked and amazed that I've been able to get to this point. There were so many times when I wanted to give up. It would have been easier just to give up. But something inside of me wanted to keep going, to get better. I wanted to be the person I knew I could be. Dropping out of high school was not an easy decision, but looking back, it was the best thing I could have done for myself, and I had to make my mental health a priority. So back in 2015, I felt like I was ready to come back and pursue my dreams of going to university. I want everybody to know that there's no shame in trying to better yourself, and there's definitely no shame in having a mental illness. And it's never too late to pursue your dreams. And I would like to thank my psychologist for helping me get through this journey, and all my teachers and my guidance counselor, Mrs. Maxwell, for making the transition back into high school easier for me. And my Aunt Dana, my mom, and my dad sitting back there, I would like to thank you for always being there and supporting me every step of the way. Thank you so much.
Remarkable young lady. We look forward to paying attention to your future career endeavors. Our next recipient is Rowan Amos, a grade 12 student at Fredericton High School, and here to present Crystal Hamilton, the guidance counselor.
Wow, if we could only bottle up these stories tonight and splash it on those who need it most when they're at their lowest moments. You may be sitting here, proud of yourselves tonight, and wanting to help others that are in a familiar, scary place, but you're unsure how to do it. Please know that you are in the process of doing just that by being the amazing testimony that you are, by continuing to see the strong, confident person that you have become. Thank you to Brian Johnson and Kingswood for letting our youth get this recognition. As Rowan's guidance counselor, I am honored to be here tonight as a witness to her turnaround. An FI student, Rowan always held her own with academics and was never a discipline problem. Then, around the time she was faced with dealing with the loss of a loved one, we saw 2014 bring a noticeable year of challenges for Rowan. We suddenly saw a young woman that had taken off from home, dropped out of school, and was spiraling to a place of uncertainty. Deep down, Rowan knew she was making mistakes and did not like the person she was becoming. She knew she had to make changes, but as we all know, change is hard, and admitting our mistakes is harder. There is a quote by Emily Ann Gardner that says, "If you're stuck in a puddle, it means there's higher ground all around you. You just have to step up onto it." This is what Rowan did. She went home, she came back to school, and came back to herself, unsure if she even knew who that girl was anymore, but knowing what she did not want for herself either. It meant graduating a year later with a different peer group. It meant taking difficult academic courses, but it also meant learning about herself. Rowan knew she had been in a scary place, and she didn't want that for herself, that she deserved better and was capable of so much more. A wise woman from our history with the utmost adversity, Helen Keller, said, "Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. That character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trials and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved." When I asked Rowan to describe how she felt when she got back home, she said one word: relief. Not gonna cry, okay. She realized how much she missed home, specifically the love and support only home, in her case, mom and dad, can provide. The safety, security, and peace your true home provides can often be taken for granted. There's no point in hanging on to regret. She may not have realized the importance of her home without the journey she took. Although she left with clouded judgment, she came back with a clearer understanding of true love and acceptance that home brings, even when she struggled to accept herself. In preparing to speak about Rowan, we realized that there's something that we did not focus much on, and it was the past. We briefly discussed it when needed, when we reflected on lessons learned, what worked and what didn't work, and accepting who she was in the process. But staring in the rearview mirror takes your focus away from what is in front of you. Singer Thomas Rhett says, "The day you stop looking back is the day you start moving on." Now, Rowan, I know you're a hardcore country music fan, and the song Lessons Learned by Carrie Underwood really spoke to me, so I thought I would just sing it all for you tonight. Just kidding. Hello for clearing out a room. There's something called iTunes. You can look up the lyrics there. Rowan learned lessons all right, taking on leadership projects in our school, taking academic courses, working as a lifeguard, and is even doing an independent study in architectural design. It is with this drive that she has accepted a seat in MBCC's Building Engineering Technology Architectural and Structural program in Moncton, which she will pursue in the fall. I know I speak for your family and for our school, Rowan, when I tell you how proud we are of you. You are very justified in holding your head up high because you've taken the higher road. So.
I just wanted to say thank you to my mom and my dad and my whole entire family. I wouldn't be here today without their support, so thank you.
Some great inspirational quotes there from Crystal. Thank you. Our next recipient is Carter Victor Marr, and he is a grade 8 student at Bliss Carman Middle School. Here to present the award is Jennifer Richard, teacher. And there has been a change. It will be Chantal Coutier, the principal.
Good evening, everyone. Though Bliss Carman Middle School has numerous students who could qualify for this award, this person has truly turned himself around in many different avenues of his life. What makes someone a worthy candidate for a Turnaround Achievement Award? I believe it takes 3 things: self-reflection, perseverance, and courage. This year's candidate has accomplished all 3. Self-reflection takes maturity. Self-reflection is the capacity of people to exercise introspection and the willingness to learn more about their fundamental essence. If a person can stop and say, "Wow, I could really be making better choices," and actually acts upon that thought, they are showing maturity as well as positive self-reflection. Perseverance is something not every person is born with. Many people, when faced with a challenge, will simply accept defeat at the earliest convenience. This year's candidate not only perseveres, he thrives on challenge. Courage comes in many forms. The Roman rhetorician Seneca once said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." This year's candidate has struggles, but he has had the courage to overcome and fight through them, which in turn has made him not only a better student, but a better person. This year's winner has worked hard to accomplish what he has done here today. He's a social butterfly that everyone genuinely enjoys having around. His energy and spirit enlighten the room, and his busyness, which can sometimes get him in hot water, is also part of his extraordinary charm. I'm proud to announce that Bliss Carman's Turnaround Achievement Award winner is Carter Marr. Carter has all the traits of a teenage boy. He's busy, invincible, never stops talking, and can often be found in places he's not supposed to be. But most importantly, he has a heart of gold. This not only makes him a worthy candidate, but also a good person. I always say good people will always find their way in life. Carter is an awesome kid with a big heart. Even though he may seem as though he is daydreaming or fidgeting, Carter is soaking in the information around him. I have no idea how he does it. Thank you, Carter, for allowing us, Bliss Carman staff, to teach you. It has truly been a privilege, and we wish you nothing but the best for the future. Congratulations, buddy.
I honestly just want to thank my mom, my grandparents, brothers, sisters, teachers, friends, because without them I wouldn't be the person I am today. So all I really have to say is thank you.
Our last two recipients are both grade 12 students at Oromocto High School. Let's start with Cassandra Williams, and here to present is Stephanie Moxness and Randy Smith. And so far, I don't see a Randy in the crowd.
I feel very honored to be speaking about Cassandra Williams this evening. Congratulations on being one of the recipients of the Turnaround Achievement Awards this year. You are most deserving. I have known you for the past 4 years and have witnessed a lot of growth and maturity. It wasn't always that way. In grade 9, you probably spent more time in the office than in the classroom. You spent more time on your phone than listening during class. Hockey is also one of Cassandra's greatest passions, and she can sometimes carry off this gruff exterior with a stubborn streak. And this reminds me of one day during English class when we were studying the Shakespearean play, Twelfth Night. She wanted nothing to do with Shakespeare. So she texted her mom and said that she was sick and told her mom to come and get her. So she left. Let's fast forward to grades 11 and 12. When I walk into the classroom now, you're smiling, always a funny story to share. Cassandra is the kind of student that sneaks their way into your heart, slow at first, but then all of a sudden they're there. As I said above, she sometimes has a gruff exterior, but she's very kind, very sensitive on the inside. You're an active participant during class, and you do care a great deal about your grades. You have a sense of pride also in all of your accomplishments. I can always see it on your face. Cassandra and her younger sister are also actually in the same homeroom. So I've witnessed on more than one occasion the care and concern that Cassandra shows her younger sister. They might be fighting over food, but they're also supporting one another. You're a senior now who has life goals, and she's already actually been accepted to St. Thomas University. You've also shared that you want to go into social work, which I can see you doing because she loves to help other people. Cassandra's story reminds me of the story of the caterpillar turning into a butterfly. You can't force the caterpillar to emerge too soon from its cocoon because it will not grow wings and it won't fly. But when the caterpillar, like Cassandra, decides on their own they want to fly, there's nothing stopping them. Cassandra needed to go through everything that she went through in order to be who she is now. I'm so proud of you, and like Wayne Gretzky says, remember to skate where the puck is going to be, not where it's been. So congratulations.
All right, well, I want to say that I'm very honored to have been chosen for this award. I want to thank my mom, my nan, and Abby for staying by my side no matter how hard things got. Miss Moxes for never giving up on me. And no matter how many times I got out of that Shakespeare, you're always there. Also, Miss McConnell and Mr. Jackson for always stopping me in the hallways and telling me how much I'm doing great. I really appreciate people noticing how much I've changed for the better, because at the beginning of the grade 9, I didn't think I was going to get through high school. I also want to thank you guys for doing this. This is really great. And congratulations to everybody else that got an award.
Well, the last of our 22 award recipients is Stephanie Brown of OHS, again, grade 12, and here to present is Maxine McConnell, the vice principal, and Kelly Breen, the teacher.
I didn't bring my glasses, so I'm not sure if I can see this, but we'll do the best I can. First of all, thank you for having us, and I'd like to congratulate Stephanie on this award. I'm Kelly Breen. I'm a resource teacher at Ormocto High School, and I'm with Ms. McConnell, one of our vice principals. And unfortunately, Krista Kirkbride, our Compass teacher, couldn't be here this evening. The interesting thing about our relationship with Stephanie is that none of us have actually taught her. So our experience with Stephanie has been in the hallways. We're very fortunate to have seen her grow into the beautiful young woman that's standing here with us today. But when she first arrived at OHS, I was tasked with hall walking during our homeroom time. And if anybody has never done that, it is quite a pleasure. Stephanie hardly spent any time with Madame Barton, her homeroom teacher. Instead, she preferred the lovely, totally hygienic washrooms at OHS. I regularly walked her back to class until eventually she would seek me out in hopes that I would cover for her late arrival or non-arrival to class. At one point, she asked me if I was vice principal or the health nurse. I'm not sure which she hoped I would be that day, but I just laughed and said I was a teacher. Over the next 2 years, Stephanie continued to struggle with attendance and loved to be involved with any and all drama that occurred. You could always count on Stephanie to provide you with information needed to resolve any conflict. True. I would say that Stephanie is deserving of this award because she now looks out for her peers and wants them to do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing. Today, Stephanie knows that we will support her in any situation she finds herself involved in, the good or the bad. Every day with and for Stephanie is not perfect, but life is about learning, and making our share of mistakes help us learn not only about ourselves, but it helps us to understand the others around us. Stephanie is definitely obtaining her education, and so are Ms. McConnell, Ms. Kirkbride, and myself.
For me, Stephanie was one of a group of young ladies that I called the Fab Five, not to their faces, but the Fab Five were 5 grade 9 students who arrived at OHS in September of 2013 that were bound and determined to drive me bonkers. Between Facebook, texting, weekend shenanigans, bus drama, or just bench drama in the cafeteria, they kept me hopping. Stephanie was always the most forthcoming and first to admit her role in any wrongdoing. Even though she was in trouble, she and I could find the humor in a situation, and she took her punishment with grace. As she matured and the upper years of high school were upon her, keeping her in school became important. Stephanie tells me that she hates school, but she excels in her subjects when she puts her mind to them. She enjoys the social aspect until there's drama. Grade 11 for Stephanie was a better year, and grade 12 has been phenomenal. Last fall, Stephanie actually sat in my office, and she didn't have to be there, and told me that she didn't want to graduate because she loved it there. This change in her attitude was because of her change in behavior. She decided to become an active citizen of OHS. She attended our camp class, became involved with Best Buddies, on a few occasions worked in the office with the admin assistants, greeting parents and answering phones and making announcements. Stephanie also excelled at her co-op placement as an EA, where she worked with at-risk youth in our Compass program. She motivated other students to get their work done and kept them on task. For everything Stephanie says she's learned, we've learned just as much. She reminded us that being honest and owning our behaviors is important to being a good human. Stephanie put up a lot of walls and pretended to be someone she thought others would accept. She has figured out that those that mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. I personally will miss our chats about life and love. I won't miss her harassment of me in the hallways, though. I also want to say congratulations to Stephanie's mom, who's sitting at the back of the room. Cynthia, you raised a wonderful young lady. Thank you for always being there for her and me. And the day Stephanie probably regrets is the day that Cynthia and I exchanged cell phone numbers so we could text. Stephanie may not realize how much she's going to be missed by the staff and students at OHS because she does not quite realize her worth in this world quite yet, but she's getting there. In 2 months, Stephanie's going to graduate from OHS. She's going to attend a college to become an addictions counselor, and she's going to impact this world. Mrs. Breen and Miss Kirkbride, who couldn't be here, and I wish you all the best, Stephanie. We are so proud of you.
Man, I actually hate you guys. All right. First of all, I'd like to thank Ms. Connell and Ms. Breen and Ms. Kirkbride for nominating me for this award. Ms. Connell, you gave me advice, and you've always been keeping me going, even when I wanted to give up. No matter how dark things looked, I always knew you were in my corner. Ms. Breen, you've always been my #1 supporter, even when you were chasing me out of bathrooms. It's always good. Even though Ms. Kirkbride couldn't be here tonight, I want to thank her for providing me with a safe spot to vent, even when it wasn't the best venting, and talking things out. There's so many people that I could thank, but the list is just too long. I'd be up here all night. But the biggest thank you has to be for my mom. She's my best friend. I'm so happy that she's here with me tonight. I'm very proud to accept this award. Proud to be in such great company with all the other award winners. Congratulations to all of you. You know, yeah, thank you.
You know, Stephanie mentioned that the list of people she wanted to thank was just too long. Well, I was taking notes throughout some of the speeches, and I noted parents being thanked, grandmother, mom, hero, aunt, boyfriend, teacher, best friend, family, tutor, girlfriend, sister, psychologist. So thank you to all those people who played a significant role in turning lives around tonight. It's a good story. I often save this for when I'm talking about Brian, but again, it's just really kind of hit home tonight that, and especially when I was listening to the interviews on CBC Radio, that this award has come to mean so much to the students that now I think that it's almost a competition in the schools. There are kids now that want to get their hands on one of these awards and want to be part of that success story. And it is darn exciting, I tell you, when we hear those stories. And now 22 recipients in 1 year alone, and then I'll share the bigger figure at the end of the night. But that is pretty impressive. And again, it's all because of Brian Johnson. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it is all because of Brian Johnson and his team at Kingswood. So again, a round of applause for Brian, but you'll hear me speak more of that later. An important part of tonight is our scholarship program. And in addition to our special awards, each grade 12 student continuing their education will receive a $1,000 scholarship from Kingswood. A certificate confirming this scholarship will be presented to each student as they move through the receiving line. Now, since the inauguration of our program 22 years ago, this is the 23rd year, we have honored, get ready for this, we said 22 students tonight, 888 students presented with $317,000 worth of scholarships. That is significant. And that's happening in this one city of Fredericton, New Brunswick. And as we heard earlier, it's expanding. So amen and congratulations again to the great work that the organizing committee does in this event. Now, the funds that support the granting of these scholarships are raised through various fundraisers held throughout the year, designed and led by the Turnaround Achievement Awards organizing committee. All monies awarded by scholarships will be paid to the student's institution of choice in their name, pending confirmation of acceptance, to be used for tuition, living costs, or other educational expenses incurred throughout the institution. And any overage, unused fees, or cancellation of student status will see that portion of the funds returned to the Turnaround Achievement Awards or to the scholarship donor. So this year, we are very fortunate to be involved with Jake Allen, goaltender with the St. Louis Blues, in the first Jake Allen Charity Golf Classic. How many of you heard about that event? Yeah. It made the news quite widely. Now, the Jake Allen Celebrity Classic has been established to create an event that supports causes important to the benefactor, showcases Jake's home province and town to his friends in the NHL, and to bring an opportunity for the local community to meet and mingle with current and former NHL players. Now, as a result of the golf event, Jake supported the following: $25,000 to the Turnaround Achievement Awards, credited towards the Jake Allen Scholarship for youth entering secondary education, $25,000 to the Alzheimer's Society of New Brunswick to support their educational program and efforts to help families struggling with Alzheimer's and dementia in New Brunswick, and $60,000 value towards youth hockey equipment was graciously donated by our sponsor, National Hockey League Players Association, and that equipment was divided and distributed to youth hockey organizations, Fredericton Youth Hockey Association, and St. Stephen Minor Hockey. Let's watch this short video clip.
Hey guys, it's Jake Allen here from St. Louis. Hope you guys are all having a great night. Just want to congratulate all the award winners tonight on your hard work, perseverance, and dedication. You all are very deserving, and hope everything goes great. Have a great night. Thanks.
Jake Allen. And now we continue the exciting part of this evening's ceremony with the presentation of individual scholarships to some of tonight's graduating recipients. These scholarships are funded through the support of individuals as well as corporate and institutional partners in the program. The Nashwaaksis Lions Club Scholarship, in the value of $1,000 and in its 4th year of being offered, will be presented by Lions Ed Evans to Alexander Chase from Leo Hayes High School, who will be attending NBCC St. John and taking a plumbing course. Congratulations. Let's have Alexander come up. Coming up, or? Yeah. Don't be shy. Congratulations, Alexander. And Pepsi, a longtime supporter of this program and the provider of beverages at tonight's event, is donating a $1,000 scholarship, which will be presented by Sarah Lightbody. Sarah, we always love to see you in the room. And this scholarship is awarded to Chelsea Newman from Fredericton High. And as we heard, Chelsea is going to be attending Carleton University and has been accepted into the biochemistry program. Eastern College, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Eastern College is one of Canada's largest career training organizations. They offer diploma programs in high-demand areas such as business, technology, healthcare, law, supply chain, art and design, and trades. Now, there are 2 students attending Eastern College, so the campus director, Chris Cantor, will present each of the students a scholarship valued at $1,000. Now, the first $1,000 scholarship recipient is Shelby Merrill of Stanley High School. And Shelby will be attending Eastern College and studying to be a veterinary assistant. Congratulations. Also attending Eastern College is Stephanie Brown from Oromocto High School. And as we heard, Stephanie has been accepted into the Youth Child Addiction Support Worker Program, and her goal is to go back to the school and help others. Her award will also be $1,000. Congratulations. And Thank you very much to Eastern College for their generosity. Our next scholarship, donated by The Learning Bar, will be presented by Beth Fairbairn. The Learning Bar is a research-based education company that provides tools and solutions designed to inform educators, guide school planning, and give a voice to students, parents, and teachers. Now, this is the 4th year that the Learning Bar has been a partner in our program, and valued at $1,000, this scholarship is awarded to Rowan Amos of Fredericton High School. Rowan will be attending NBCC in Moncton and be enrolled in the Civil Engineering Technology program. That's fantastic, Rowan. Good luck to you. The New Brunswick Society of Retired Teachers Central Branch Scholarship, valued at $1,000, is being presented tonight by Mary Jo McIntosh, and it goes to Megan Thompson of the Enterprise Program. Megan will be attending NBCC in Fredericton, the Culinary Arts, with the aim of opening her own bakery. The Retired Teachers Group has been supporting our program for 12 years, and we're very appreciative of their continued focus on your youth, on our youth. And I am well connected to restaurants, so if ever you need a connection, you just look me up. Rossmount Inn, Chris Arney, Chef Alex Hahn, Savor in the Garden. The next 2 scholarships are awarded by the New Brunswick Community College, NBCC. NBCC provides post-secondary education on 6 campuses across New Brunswick in more than 90 programs. This is NBCC's 7th year as a partner of this program. Thank you very much. Each scholarship presented tonight is in the amount of $1,000 and will be presented by Cynthia Shepard from NBCC Fredericton Campus. The NBCC Fredericton Campus Scholarship is awarded to William Assel of the Enterprise Center. Yes. And William will be attending NBCC's Trades program, and then going on to become the Prime Minister of Canada. The second scholarship to NBCC is awarded to Bridget Ryan from the Enterprise program at Fredericton High. And Bridget will be attending NBCC to complete the Personal Support Worker Program certification. Congratulations to you, Bridget. And I'm really happy to be introducing a new scholarship from Brent Buchanan, who graces our audience every year that I can remember anyway, Brent. And again, his scholarship is valued at $1,000. Brent has been a longtime supporter of the Turnaround Achievement Awards, and we thank him and his lovely wife, Rosie, for their generosity and support of our program. Now, Brent will present this scholarship to Haley Lads from Leo Hayes High School.
I haven't in the bakery. Look at me.
And Haley will be attending NBCC in the fall. Thank you, Brent, very much. Now, on a sad note, in June 2016, you probably heard the Kingswood family tragically lost a beautiful person by the name of Jennifer Brewer. Jen was known for her kindness, her beautiful smile, and positive disposition. She touched so many lives, and for that, we're just left with so many beautiful memories. Now, while we are saddened by our loss, we know that Jen would be honored that Kingswood is donating an annual $1,000 scholarship in her memory to the Kingswood Turnaround Achievement Awards. Your generosity has no end, and we so thank you for that. The Jen Brewer Memorial of $1,000 presented by Alex Trask is being awarded to Brandon McGarity from Cambridge Narrows. And Brandon, as we heard, will be attending NBCC in Moncton to pursue the Network Administration Program. Congratulations, Brandon. Well deserved. There's your plaque. Now, the University of New Brunswick Scholarship is valued at $5,000, and it will be presented tonight by Victoria Sparks, the Director of Undergraduate Awards. UNB offers undergraduate and graduate degrees in more than 60 disciplines and continuing education in a variety of fields. Now, this is UNB's 11th year as a partner in this program. Receiving the UNB scholarship, again valued at $5,000, and enrolled in nursing at the Fredericton campus for the fall of 2017, is Kayla Boyle of Leo Hayes High School. It's wonderful. The St. Thomas University Scholarship in the amount of $2,000 will be presented by Amy McKenzie, admissions counselor. Now, STU, a small and primarily undergraduate university, is dedicated to liberal arts education. This is St. Thomas's 11th year as a partner to the Turnaround Achievement Awards, and this scholarship will be awarded to Cassandra Williams of Oromocto High School. And Cassandra has been accepted at St. Thomas for the fall term. The Jake Allen Scholarship, valued at $2,000, is being presented by Jake's brother Jordan. As Jake is a little busy right now, he is in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs playing goal for the St. Louis Blues. Good luck, Jake. The recipient is Kyla Bonnell from NB Central Academy, going to the New Brunswick College of Crafts and Design, studying photography. Our last scholarship is a very special one, and not only because of its monetary value, but because it has such meaning. It's being presented in the memory of Nick Plimmer, who worked tirelessly with at-risk students in Districts 17 and 18. Now, this program was very dear to his heart, and tonight we are privileged and honored to once again have Christopher here to present the award in the amount of $2,000. I also want to mention that we have Janice in the audience. Janice, I wasn't expecting you to be here. It's so wonderful to see you in the audience. They travel from Moncton almost every year, one or the other or both, to be here, and it means a lot to us, and I know this means a lot to you. So why don't the both of you make the presentation to Chelsea Newman of Fredericton High School, who will be attending Carleton University in Ottawa to study biochemistry. Now, this does conclude our scholarship presentations. In total this evening, 15 graduating students are eligible for $35,000 to further their dreams. And we thank very, very sincerely the following scholarship partners in the program. New this year, Mount Allison, Brent Buchanan, and Jen Brewer Memorial. Thanks also to Eastern College, NBCC, St. Thomas University, and the University of New Brunswick, Atlantic Business College, the Learning Bar, the Central Branch of Retired Teachers, Nashwaaksis Lions Club, Crandall University, and of course Pepsi. We would also like to thank the following who are also an integral part of this evening's program. Signature Sounds. They go about their business unnoticed, which means they're really good at what they do, and they end up producing some incredible footage for us, so we're very, very appreciative of that. Outreach Productions, again, an incredible partner. Keith Minchin, award-winning photographer. We can always count on Keith. And Crown Plaza as well, this lovely venue that we get to host this event in, and Saputo. Also, this program could not continue without the support of Brian Johnson of Kingswood. He envisions this as an opportunity to make a difference in the community and the lives of young people we have recognized here tonight. So on behalf of everyone here tonight, I want to thank Brian very much, and I am going to put him on the spot and ask him to come up for once. He never does. He is the most modest person I've ever met. Usually refuses. I think we can talk him into it tonight. The other thing that I want to mention about Brian, because I notice it every year, even though the podium was in the way tonight and I couldn't see it as much, Brian takes as much time as he can get to sincerely congratulate every single recipient that walks by him. And I see your emotion, and I love the fact that you are so deservedly proud of what you've been able to achieve through this event and to make a difference in the lives of students, which I don't think that there's any greater accomplishment. So Brian Johnson, to the podium, please.
I'm actually surprising Rose.
I didn't want you to come up for that reason.
She's a big part of our team. She's not an MC. She's way beyond that. She makes it look so easy every night. Every night we do this. Not every night. Every night, once a year that we do this. But she loves the story. She's always very emotional. We talk about it in our meetings. What a big part of the committee she is. And so we surprised her tonight. I have some flowers and a portfolio for you. So thank you very much, Rose.
Wow, thank you. Thank you very much.
And I wanted, since it's the first time I've ever been up there, I wanted to congratulate all the recipients and their families. Over 23 years of stories of all the students and all the amazing things that they've accomplished. It's really, for Kingswood and our team, it's really very rewarding. And in the video I had said, and I think it's important for everyone to give back to their community, because for me, we've done a lot at Kingswood, but I enjoy this is my favorite night of the year. It's like Christmas for me. So anyway, congratulations, everybody. Thank you.
Also really have to say from the bottom of my heart, I emceed quite a few events. One of the most challenging ones Brian was at the other night was the Atlantic Salmon Dinner, where they just want to talk fish stories and tell about the, so you can't, I just say, okay, they're just going to talk, then not go listen to me. I could have heard a pin drop since the moment we started. So I really, really want to thank you guys for your attentiveness. And I know these stories were riveting, so that certainly helped, but really, you were a great audience, and it makes everybody's job easier when we're up here and don't need to try to compete for your attention. So the students really would have appreciated that. So on behalf of all the students who are also nodding and saying, yeah, we really did appreciate that, Thank you very much for being a great audience. I really appreciate that. Now, if you could give our students just a little bit of time to form a receiving line over by the exit, and that is the cue for you students to form the receiving line over by the exit. And then I'd ask that you please take a moment and offer words of encouragement and congratulate them on their achievements. Now, I want to remind you as well, we have photos and video of tonight's ceremony that can be found at www.kingswoodpark.ca under Turnaround Achievement Awards, and that will be posted there in a couple of weeks. And in keeping with tonight's theme of quotes, and I haven't done this for many years, and I did it when we first started, Brian, probably, I don't know, I think I've been doing this for, I think we lost count, but anyway, I did it a couple of years, and people would come up to me at the end and ask for a copy of it. So bear with me while the students are forming the receiving line. A quote in keeping with tonight's theme. I have a quote of my own, not my own, it's actually by Charles Swindoll. But listen to this and how appropriate it is for tonight's event. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It's more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It's more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one string we have, and that's our attitude. I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes, and every student tonight took charge of their attitude and made a difference. They had a lot of support, but you are responsible for the difference that you've made in your lives. And again, we applaud you, and we're looking forward to joining you in the receiving line. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this evening, but I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being one of the best audiences. I wish you well, and I do hope that we see you back here next year. Thank you very much.